Finance is often the most difficult part of the entire process of making a film. It's the stage that stops many film projects actually happening. There are as many ways to finance a film as there are to make a film, but there are some typical patterns. In this video, I share 4 money sources that will help indie filmmakers to set up their financial plan. Coming up. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Aniasfura, and just to let you know, in this channel I share tips and tools to help indie filmmakers to produce their films and make them visible to their audience. So if you want to know more about how the film business works and you want to be part of this community, consider subscribing. Now, let's jump into the video. When people make a film early in their career, they usually get the funds from their family and friends, right? We all have done it. But you can only do it like once or twice. After that, and especially if you're working with bigger budgets, you need to start using more conventional industry-focused methods. Outside the Hollywood studio system, this usually means putting together funding from a mix of different industry sources, like private and public funding, or even from distributors and sales agents. The first money source we are going to talk about is licensing of rights. As you know, sales agents and distributors pay money for the rights of a finished film, but also you can pre-sell the rights before the project is even made, when you have a script and some talent attached, in which case they pay a certain amount upfront so their money can be used as finance to make the film. As a producer, a pre-sale to a distributor is one of the most important potential sources of film finance. It brings money into the production process and ensures that the film will be shown to the audience. The distributor could take a certain territory and put up an advance of 15 or 20% of the wealth of that territory, and that could be cash flow during production, or it might be paid on delivery, in which case you then need a bank to come in and discount that distribution agreement. Now, you will be wondering why sales agents and distributors are willing to proceed this way. And the main reason is because they are interested in securing a great product for their distribution system at the lowest cost and the lowest risk. Their motive for funding a film, in most cases, is commercial. But there are 2 other motives for funding a film: their economic and cultural value. For that, let's check number 2, soft money. Film is particularly attractive to economic development targets because it's perceived as creating knowledge-intensive jobs and bringing additional benefits to the economy in the form of tourism and image. On the other hand, film has a cultural value. It's a record of life, moments in history, politics, and social issues. Films are the reflection of the human behavior, an archive of memories for the human being. Because of these 2 reasons, many governments around the world are keen to support filmmakers and to help ensure that films reflects the national culture as also the spending of a good amount of money in the local economy. This is often known as soft money, because the terms under which it needs to be paid back are less strict than for commercial investors, and in some circumstances, it might not need to be paid back at all. This soft money comes from tax credits or funds available to support the development and production of films. Tax credits is usually a very clean and simple mechanism, where a production spends an amount of money in a specific country and you get a tax credit at the end. This kind of support is offered by the UK, Germany, France, Czech Republic, Canada, Australia, Colombia, and other countries as well, and usually involves to work with local studio facilities and skilled production crews. Then we have the public funds or grants. Many countries have government bodies with funds available to support the development and production of films. Once you apply, these bodies will look at your film project and decide whether or not it's interesting enough and culturally significant that they should be supported. These kinds of funds also push certain filmmakers that this country think can do exceptionally well because they go a little bit further, taking some risks. Next we have number 3, equity investment, private sector money. This is when people make an equity investment in a film and in return they earn a share of profits. This can be a risky investment because many films do not earn a profit. One example of this kind of funding is the money that you receive when friends and family invest in your film, as they usually make an investment in the form of equity. Often, the motive here is more to support the filmmaker than to generate an economic return. Also, there are commercial funds that are often tax advantaged. This encourages investment because they will be getting a tax benefit for putting money into the film production or distribution. And again, those investors will be treated as equity investors. Finally, we have the individual investors, people who like the film business and take some risk to find that movie that could make them earn some profits in the way. Last, number 4, bank loans. Banks can play an important role in the financing process, but you have to be clear about one thing. Banks do not invest in films. They lend money to film projects, which enables the producer to cash flow their production. So, how do they lend? First, the reputation of the producer or their colleagues is extremely important. A producer with a good track record gives the banker a certain amount of comfort or confidence in the project. But if you're producing a film for the first time, the key is to have someone attached to the project that has the experience and can guide you and could give them confidence as well. Second, the completion guarantee. A third-party reassurance that the production team is likely to deliver the project on time and to budget, and that if it all goes wrong, the guarantor will step in and complete the project. And finally, in the pre-sales contract, the distributor undertakes to repay the bank on delivery of the film. The bank makes an assessment of this credit risk on the basis of the reputation and financial statements of the distributor. Well, as you could see, there are different types of financiers which are possible, and of course, depending on the film and who comes together, then you have to make sure that all their interests are aligned. I hope all this information was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below, and if you thought it was valuable, hit the like button. Thank you so much for checking out this video and the channel. Keep crushing it, and see you next time.